Back in 2024, status was everything. Amex, Chase, Platinum, having one of those cards felt like you'd finally made it. But now, in 2025, the game has completely flipped. So this is the real ranking of the best credit cards for this year, where the truth might sting some of the big names, but it's going to liberate your wallet. Let's find out who rose, who fell, and who's still trying to trick you with perks that just aren't worth the plastic they're printed on. So let's just start with this one powerful idea. In 2025, luxury became a trap. And this isn't just some catchy phrase, it's the absolute reality of a financial market that is changing so fast. The old status symbols, they're just not worth the price of admission anymore. I mean, the entire landscape has shifted. We've gone from a world obsessed with status in 2024 to one that's all about pure, quantifiable value in 2025. And this isn't just some passing trend. It's a direct reaction to these skyrocketing annual fees and points programs that are getting devalued left and right. That's why this ranking, our ranking, is based entirely on real-world benefits, practicality, and the actual return you get on your spending. All right, so we're going to start at the very bottom of the pyramid. We're talking about the cards that are all style and absolutely zero substance. For today's consumer, these cards are just fundamentally flawed. First up in our D tier is the Apple Card. And look, it's sleek, it's made of titanium, and well, that's kind of it. It's mostly a decorative accessory. The cashback, the money you get back on purchases, is pretty limited, and there's really no solid points program to speak of. It only offers a true advantage if you live exclusively inside Apple's world. It's the perfect example of how a beautiful card doesn't actually pay the bills. Moving up just one little notch to the C tier, we've got the Citi Custom Cash. Now, it promises a really tempting 5% cashback, but there is a huge catch. It only applies to your top spending category each month. That sounds good on paper, right? But then you realize you're constantly having to track and manage your entire life just to get that return. So the key takeaway is this: you have to adapt your life to the card. And that's the exact opposite of how a good financial tool should work. Okay, now for the really dramatic heart of this whole explainer. We're about to dive into how the titans of the credit card world, those former symbols of status, have fallen from grace. This is the tier where having status has actually become a heavy, expensive burden. So let's kick things off with the American Express Platinum Card and its staggering $695 annual fee. I mean, wow. For a price like that, you'd expect something absolutely incredible, wouldn't you? Well, let's take a closer look at the reality. So let's break down the promise versus the reality of the Amex Platinum. You're promised VIP lounge access, but what users are reporting is that they're often so overcrowded you can't even get in. You get these so-called exclusive credits, but they're for these really niche stores you might never even use. And the premium points program, it's become so complex, it's a headache to figure out. The Platinum Card has basically become a very expensive vanity trophy. Honestly, this quote just sums up the whole problem perfectly. It's like paying for a sports car and discovering it only drives in the parking lot. The card sounds amazing and it looks impressive, but it's fundamentally impractical for most people's actual day-to-day lives. And what about its biggest rival, the Chase Sapphire Reserve? Well, it's still a decent card, but the shine is definitely gone. The annual fee has gone up, the value of its points has dropped, and the competition has just gotten so much smarter. Today, it's really only a great card if you are a die-hard loyalist to the Chase ecosystem. For everyone else, it's just another expensive card with a nice name. So, if the old titans are falling, who's rising up to take their place? This is where it gets interesting. Let's get into the A tier, what we're calling the smart choice. This is where strategic thinking and synergy completely crush old school status. A perfect example of this is what's called the Chase Ecosystem Duo. You combine the Freedom Unlimited with the Sapphire Preferred. Here's how this awesome synergy works. The Freedom Unlimited earns you high cash back on all your everyday spending. Then, the Sapphire Preferred takes those points and transforms them into premium travel rewards. You see, together, they create this financial engine that is way more valuable than a single overpriced card. It's proof that a smart strategy beats a status symbol every single time. And now for what might be the single most intelligent card of 2025, the Bilt MasterCard. So what makes it so special? It's the first and only card that lets you earn points on your rent payments with absolutely no fee. This is not some gimmicky benefit. It solves a huge, real-world problem for millions of people. Bilt is discreet, it's functional, and it's incredibly practical. And now we've finally made it to the top of the pyramid, the S tier. These are the new kings of value. There's no empty glamour here, just simple, powerful math that actually works in your favor. First on the throne, the Robinhood Gold Card. Its killer feature? 3% cashback on everything. There's zero complexity, there are no hoops to jump through. It's simple, direct, and incredibly profitable. This card, born from an investment platform, is absolutely humiliating the old giants with its straightforward value. Sharing that throne is the Capital One Venture X, which is just a masterpiece of value. Its annual fee is $395, but the credits and benefits you get for travel and other perks are worth over $400. So the net result is positive. The card literally pays for itself and then some. For anyone who travels and wants real returns, the Venture X is the new king of cost benefit. So what does all this mean for your wallet? Well, it all points to a brand new financial strategy, one where the power is finally shifting away from the big banks and back to you, the informed consumer. And this brings us to the core lesson of 2025, the big takeaway. Status doesn't pay the bills, intelligence does. The cards that have survived and thrived in this new landscape aren't the most expensive or the most famous. They are simply the smartest. So as we wrap up, I just want to leave you with one critical question. It's a question you should ask yourself before you choose any financial product from now on. Does this card work for me, or do I work to pay for it? The answer to that question will tell you everything you need to know about where the real value lies.